still alive. Yes, I haven't done the YouTube thing in quite some time. I've kind of left y'all hanging, but lo and behold, the car is still here. I'm still kicking, and I'm ready to start, making more content. A lot of people do ask me, like, is the project dead? Are you still around? Holy crap, I'm surprised you're still doing this whenever I post something. But yes, I have full intentions to continue with the car. I can make all kinds of excuses as to why I haven't been working on it. The short of it is, I just kind of lost my way. I don't know if you would say I lost interest. I don't know. I have a lot of hobbies. I'm notorious for finding new hobbies. I have way too many. So we moved into this new shop. I guess that's important to note that we're no longer in the same space. This is the new shop, and I've been working a lot on that. I don't know if I've made a video since we've been here, but yeah, I did a whole lot of painting, as you can see, trying to make it look as pretty as it can be, but it's a garage, so ultimately it gets dirty and dinged up. Yeah, the garage, I've been spending the last couple days cleaning it up, but the space is great, as you can see. I also invested in a Max Jacks lift, the new flavor of it, revised by Ben Pack. I've been super happy with it. The GX was up on this thing for had to been 2 weeks straight, and it did great. As you can see, the car is still largely in the same state as you probably saw it last, maybe. If I'm going to give an update, the current status of the car, I currently am waiting for some Techno Toy tuning parts, specifically lower control arms and my evolved front coilovers to arrive so that I can start cutting on these fenders. Need to make sure I don't cut the quarters before one of these new suspension pieces, changes the geometry in such a way that I maybe shouldn't have cut the quarters in the way I did if I hadn't done it. So I know I've talked a lot about kind of the goals of the car. At one point, think I had this real big ambition of having some 4-digit 1,000 horsepower number, but I don't know, something, time, you get older, realize that is kind of useless. For me anyway. This car will be tracked. It's not a race car, but I want it to be a street car, a streetable road course car. I don't know if I call it a race car. I don't know. 500 horsepower is where this car is going to be at most. I mean, that's even a lot of power for this, but I mean, it's intended to be kind of a fun, I call it a weekend warrior, but it's just kind of it's a fun project. It's not dedicated to one particular thing. It's going to be versatile, reliable, consistent. That's kind of the overall goal with a power level, probably 400 on the track, really pushing it. And then, I don't know, you can bump the boost up to 500 for if you're feeling bored and want to go crazy, and then probably build the motor to 600-ish. That way we have some overhead for the shit happens factor. So the next order of business I've decided to work on is getting the new crossmember bolted in. As you know, I went through the whole process of building these motor mounts here, with these tabs that are, how do I say this? A bit janky, a bit backyard. I don't like them at all. The other issue here is the motor's not centered. Can't really tell, I don't know, from this angle, but it's just not right. I guess you can kind of see that. right, so we got the engine out. Been meaning to do this for almost a year. Bought that Apex crossmember, which is obviously why we're pulling this out, to get that one bolted up. But I never pulled the engine like this from the bottom on this lift. I mean, I've never pulled an engine on this lift, but this was super easy compared to doing the cherry picker and all that, scratching up your car and whatnot. But there we are. The as you can see, this makes me cringe looking at this. At the time, I thought it was okay, but man, these are just ugly. I mean, you can certainly do it this way, but if I did it over again, that would take more time. But same with these. I regret even showing these, but I'm a different man now, right? We have the Apex mount for this as well. It's one of those that bolts to the bottom of the floor. It like, I don't know, I think it goes under here. I'll go grab it, but hopefully it's strong enough. I mean, they make the product and sell it, so I would think it is, but we'll see. Next order of business is to just chop those off and get the cross member on here and mount up the transmission and all that, but I don't think that's gonna be for a minute yet. We're gonna have to clean all this up, chop off these, I don't know how you call them, plates for reinforcement for these, because they're ugly as hell. And yeah, making headway. progress. As you saw, the front cross members up there, fits up real nice. It actually moved the motor back rearward almost an inch. So I really like that. As you can see too, the engine relative to the wheel position, it's almost entirely behind the front wheels. So that's really cool. That was pretty straightforward. I actually don't have the racking. I'm gonna order the T3 Ultimate steering rack, and I run an electric steering. But back here, we've successfully mounted the trans cross member. I really am pretty pleased with how this turned out. I wasn't sure how well this was gonna be install wise or fitment wise, but other than this little, get the light on here, a little bit of interference there with the subframe connector. It's like just barely, and I'm gonna just trim that subframe connector. I mean, everything else is really straightforward. Just super happy to have that done. I've had this part on the shelf for like 8 months, almost a year. It's nice to finally have that up in there. So yeah, all in all, got the new mounts done over the weekend. Not bad for, you know, the rate of progress which I've had in the past couple years. So the other thing I actually ended up doing is ordering the Apex control arms, front and rear. I'm gonna cancel the T3 ones just because I think the front control arms are gonna play nicer. The rear ones actually have more adjustability compared to the T3 ones. Still run a lot of T3 parts, like the front hub, 5-bolt hub, the front evolve coilovers. I still have that on the way. Obviously the steering rack. That's the update. It kind of concludes this video update. Next phase will be, gosh, I don't know what I'll work on until those other parts get here. It's gonna be like a week before those get here, so we'll see. But thanks for watching. See you next time.